Hello, everyone. This is Darcinovia, representing the little guy of the Star Wars fandom, because I don't believe there's enough of people like me that are speaking out for everyone, because I feel like the voices of geeks and gamers and the world-class bullshitters, nothing against them personally, but I feel like their videos are not really about the main issue of Star Wars, in my opinion, and I like to introduce my partner in this video. Hopefully there'll be more people, but I'm only expecting him and no one else.
Kyle Phantom. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance, people. You probably remember me from episode 1 of The State of Star Wars. I was sort of the host, and I still am kind of the host here because I'm recording.
Yeah, well, those who are watching on YouTube, this is going to be on my channel, but he's basically doing most of the work. Anyway, it's been months since I uploaded the last episode, and considering how things been going in the Star Wars fandom and what's been going on with the show media lately, shit, there's a lot to talk about. There really is.
Well, first, unlike last time, we should definitely keep it a little more organized. That's what I was talking about when we were preparing for this. Is like, how did we get here? How do we get out? You know, type of thing. Like, and what got us to this point that we're in right now?
Honestly, if I had to be really honestly, for all you people out there, there's those who, like the Max Panther, who like to hear the truth and nothing but the truth from me, even if it's something you don't want to hear. How do we get out of this? Honestly, I think the best thing we could do is let what's been going on with Star Wars, what Star Wars has become, let it rot. I'm not saying to give up because it's easy. Let's be realistic. Kathleen Kennedy, I'm sorry if you thumb down this video and you don't want to hear this. Nothing is going to change no matter who runs Lucasfilm.
Unless Lucas comes back himself. But he seeks retirement, so yeah.
Yes, it's just... Sorry, I'll let you talk, Kyle.
He seeks retirement. He wants to move on with his life. He doesn't want to deal with this shit anymore. That's basically what he wanted to do after he released Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, he's an old man who wants to spend time with his family. That's not unreasonable.
We'll talk about his original ideas for the sequel trilogy later on in the podcast. Right now, let's focus on we're talking about how we got here.
Well, we got here because, well, let's be honest here. Okay, I don't care how you feel about the prequels. I know a lot of you do not like those movies, but the nonstop bitching by a bunch of people who were in their late 30s at the time that piece of shit movie, The People versus George Lucas, was made, and late 40s complaining about George Lucas not doing the movie they want to do, cry endlessly, bitch endlessly, and have those god-awful, cringe-worthy reviews, being as popular as they are. It has increased the hate in this fandom, and they inadvertently caused George Lucas to sell Star Wars. I'm not saying they are the main cause, but they are a big contributing factor to it. So just to say that Lucasfilm alone is the reason why Star Wars is where it is being dishonest. Original trilogy fanboys like Pickett and all those other parasites for years just nitpicking the shit out of the prequels. I'm not saying that they're perfect movies. There's some things that are objectively wrong with them, but you know what? They work as a story. If you compare the story of the prequels to the sequels, the prequels work, the sequels do not, but that's not what this subject is about. How do we get out of this situation? In my opinion, the best option, walk away.
Yeah, for me, I'm just going to stick to I'm just going to continue to collect and read Legends books for sure. And I'm going to pretty much collect, classic Star Wars games and continue to play them. And And yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I'm going to stick with Star Wars now is pretty much is just that. I can't stand the new movies. I can't stand the new EU. I can't stand okay, maybe I can stand EA's Battlefront because I've actually had my fair share of fun on those games, like I've stated before. But I do have a lot of problems with those games. They could be so much more, but because EA are a bunch of dickweeds, they kind of screwed that up. But I mainly blame Disney and Lucasfilm for basically, let's see, they were working alongside with EA when they were developing those games, but we still got a pretty lackluster product.
Well, here's the thing about us people. We don't have to settle for Star Wars. There's millions of creative minds around the world that can craft a universe that's so much better than what we have now. That's what George Lucas would want. George Lucas wouldn't want us to
obsess over one thing. I'm a diehard anime and manga fan. This is basically what I've been mainly obsessing about for the last few years is anime and manga, and I can safely say that in my honest opinion, anime and manga rapes the hell out of most real life TV shows and movies.
Well, what I'm basically saying is there's millions of things we could do. Are you a creative person? Use Star Wars as inspiration, the real Star Wars, and craft something that would make George Lucas proud. I mean, George Lucas would want people like us to create something that's inspired by his work. He wouldn't want us to support this trash that George Lucas himself can't despises. I mean, Solo, he didn't say anything. Actions speak louder than words, people. George Lucas hates all of these new movies. He doesn't like any of them.
He stated in his Charlie Rose video, the first one after The Force Awakens came out, he said that he just didn't like it. I can even quote that Charlie Rose video word for word what he said. They wanted to make a retro movie. I don't like that. That's what he said. And he just didn't like how it was being treated. He may have saw The Last Jedi and said nice things about it. Quote, I'm using air quotes, by the way, but he's just being polite. But I'm pretty sure if you were to drag him into a room and ask him honestly in a nice way, of course, he'd probably say, I think they're destroying my series. I can't stand it. That's what I
honestly have, since we're talking about that, I think we should segue to the next topic regarding George Lucas.
Yeah, his original plans for the sequel trilogy, which
I have serious doubts, honestly, because why does this information come out now? The timing is too convenient. I'm sorry, this sounds like a conspiracy theory, but every time anything like this pops up, it's always happening when something goes wrong for Star Wars.
And it's trying to begin flame wars on now Lucas for the whole thing about people hated the prequels and midichlorians, so here's something worse. Which basically, I'm sorry, I think honestly the idea, if these are the ideas, I find them more interesting because Force gods coming to the Star Wars galaxy and actually invading the galaxy sounds more interesting than freaking, what we have now. That's just me. But at the same time, I question, I'm just like, this seems a little off. I mean, why didn't George talk about this a lot sooner? Way sooner. Probably even before Force Awakens came out, type of thing. And now it's coming out when all the drama's going on, like you stated. It felt off.
It's just like that bullshit with Kelly Marie Tran. I don't buy any of it.
They're trying to they're trying to distract us from the real problem at hand. Their bad storytelling, their bad character development in their stories, and also trying to from exposing the real problem, which is their movie sales and whatnot.
Well, here's the reality about Kelly Marie Tran. She hasn't herself clarified why she left her. For all we know, it could be something in her contract that she signed that while they're filming episode 9, she cannot be on social media. That's probably what it is. Or she made the choice to leave Instagram. Okay, let's be honest here. Everyone has gotten harassed online. This is nothing new. I mean, where were these people when Jake Lloyd got harassed constantly by these overgrown man-children, which I mentioned earlier, about who bitched endlessly about the prequels? These fucking assholes ruined this man's life, and they don't take any goddamn responsibility for it.
Yeah, and they don't. And another thing to point out is that these fanboys also were attacking Hayden Christensen as well, and also attacking,
Oh God,
they were attacking Jake Lloyd. Weren't they also attacking Natalie Portman?
I can't clarify that, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's like hypocrites. It's like so now you're caring about harassment. It's like then you have Lucasfilm, which is classic, forced out the hate in out of the fandom. Okay, first off, let's check something. Who were the ones that drove prequel fans away? EU fans and OT fans.
The original trilogy fanboys.
Exactly. Okay, to clarify, people, you could be an OT fan, and not be a fanboy. You could be a fan of something and not be a fanboy. There's a huge difference. I've met plenty of people who prefer the original trilogy over everything else. They are cool people. It's these overzealous original trilogy fanboys. These are the same kind of people that would accept bullshit that Rian Johnson shit out of his asshole with The Last Jedi.
And these are the same fuckers that need to be thrown onto a train track and ran over by an angry Satan drain. That's what they honestly deserve. Because honestly, these are the same fuckers that threatened George Lucas in person.
Exactly, but you don't think really pisses me off? These fuckers ruined Star Wars for every other sane fan out there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's because of these fuckers that have a hard time actually enjoying Star Wars.
I mean, look what happened. Not only because of these people, they forced George Lucas to sell Star Wars. Everyone lost in the end. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Clone Wars, I think it was pretty dickish to cancel the show before it was finished.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. I mean,
it wasn't.
Honestly, I think the Clone Wars series is a little bit tad overrated because people praise the shit out of it, and I'm just like, there's not really much plot progression going on. Some of the stuff was actually showcased in the prequels as well, but also better in the multimedia project of the Clone Wars, which is miles better. Hell, the Samurai Jack Clone Wars series still is miles better than the 3D Clone Wars series.
But the argument isn't that which is superior to the other. The argument is they took away something that fans loved and didn't even let them even finish the show.
Yeah, that's
the problem.
That's warning sign number 1 from Disney. Warning sign number 2 is the decanonation of the EU.
Actually, that was the death of LucasArts. Then the decanonation of the EU.
I was getting that to do.
Every single person lost in some way. Gamers who love Star Wars, they lost something. We didn't get a Darth Maul game. We didn't get a Boba Fett game, which we almost got.
That was actually Star Wars 1313 to clarify. It was actually it was actually going to be the first Star Wars rated M for mature game taking place in the dark corners of Coruscant, like in the deeper levels. I don't know what the plan was for it, but damn, I wanted a rated M for mature Star Wars game. They could, with a rated M for mature Star Wars game, you could take Star Wars into far greater corners with that shit.
Well, I'm not the biggest Boba Fett fan, but it would have given Boba Fett fans something to do game-wise. I mean, there's no Star Wars game you could really play as Boba Fett, really, other than Battlefront.
Well, to be clear, actually, 1313 didn't have Boba Fett, dude.
I thought it was Boba Fett. Whatever.
Actually, I just remember it being about these. That's just what I recall from 1313 is that it was these characters that were going down to the deeper levels of Coruscant to explore stuff like that. I don't remember. They didn't really talk too much about the plot.
Oh, Smuggler, thank you for clearing that up. I'm not as familiar with game part of the expanded universe like I am with the novels and the comics.
And then again, that was a long time ago. This is before freaking the decanonation of the EU. This was a long time ago. What?
The Darth Maul video game that we almost got. It's like we never had a game that we could play exclusively as Darth Maul, even if it's tied into TCW. Who cares? We would have a chance to play, as Darth Maul.
And also don't forget how Force Unleashed 2 was thrown out the window, or Force Unleashed 3.
It's like, and then and here's the thing about Beast, which I'm about to get at. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but we have people like Geekdom. If you're familiar with the Dragon Ball fandom,
I'm not a big fan of Geekdom. I don't really like him that much.
This person bitch and moan for multiple videos straight about how The Last Jedi, bitching about people, about his investment in the story. It's like, I'm sorry for all people like Geekdom out there, those who are exactly like him. Okay. Your investment. What about those who were invested in Ahsoka's story, in Clone Wars? Yeah, I know her storyline was kind of resolved in Rebels, but most people who are fans of Ahsoka don't give a shit about Rebels.
Yeah, I don't even like Rebels either. I watched the first season.
And okay, what about those who were invested in Jaina and Ben Skywalker stories? People have been reading about these characters for close to 30 years, and their storylines were completely cut. So why should we give a fuck about your investment when you didn't care about our investment when our stories were taken away?
Yeah, it's funny is that Geekdom tries to defend The Force Awakens by saying, oh, J.J. Abrams had this special plan for the sequel trilogy. Bullshit, dude. J.J. Abrams is well known for not telling good stories. Shut the fuck up. You're sucking his dick.
He couldn't even end Lost.
Yeah, from what I call Lost was a disaster because of J.J.
I never saw Lost, but I predicted the ending, and my friend who watched Lost was laughing because I predicted it. Everyone was confirmed to be dead the entire time.
Yep. And I basically was never a big fan of Lost. I thought it was kind of a mess show.
I thought the concept of Lost was stupid.
Oh, we're going to land on this island. Oh, we're going to just discover this monster. We're going to be stuck on this planet doing drama things because we're stupid people.
And here's one thing I cannot get. There's people out there that actually believe that J.J. Abrams is going to salvage the sequel trilogy of Episode 9. Are you fucking serious?
I highly doubt he's going to fix this. He's going to destroy it. He has no... from what I recall, the last two Star Trek movies were shit, even though his Star Trek movies were shit too.
His Star Trek movies are masterpiece compared to the Star Wars sequels.
That's kind of saying something, but they're still bad movies.
At least they feel like they're a part of one universe. I mean, here's what I predict Episode 9 is going to do. Episode 9 is going to make the watchable Episode 8 even more unwatchable, which will make Episode 7 will be impossible to watch.
Yeah. Wow, we're getting a lot more people running into the Discord.
Yeah. It's like J.J. Abrams is not this fucking great filmmaker that he says he is.
He's not. He's an asshole, and I think he needs to get... And he actually deserves to get thrown over a freaking bridge by a freaking dumpster. I don't know where that came from, but it was the only pun that I could come up with.
I'm debating who's worse, him or Rian Johnson.
They're both bad, but I think Pablo Hidalgo basically are all three bad.
Pablo Hidalgo has some nerve criticizing other people's, work when this hack. Every single story he's ever written is either second-tier fan fiction, which I think is insulting, or a forgettable story.
And that's basically what he is. He's a dickweed.
Dickweed.
I wouldn't spit on Ryan Johnson.
Hold on. Someone else just came in here. Let him introduce himself.
Greetings.
Hi guys, I'm just General CJ.
Greetings, person. Welcome to the podcast. We have cookies in here.
No thanks, I'm not hungry. I ate like half an hour ago.
But welcome to the rebellion. We have blasters and lots of lightsabers.
Well, I'd like to know his perspective and on what got him to this point, and what does he feel like we should do to proceed.
Oh, me? Well, to be honest, I mean, let's just say, you want me to tell everything or just a small summary of synopsis? How do you want me to say? Because Star Wars is quite my second favorite franchise of all time, and right now I'm just disappointed as fuck with how it's going.
I agree. Well, you weren't here in the beginning. We're actually recording. Well, we just discussed, how do we get here and how can we get out of it? Or do you believe we can? I believe we should just abandon this current version of Star Wars and let it rot.
Agreed.
I still agree with that, but I still believe that if you want to basically bring me back as a fan of Star Wars, kick Kathleen Kennedy out, bring back LucasArts, freaking put J.J. Abrams, Ryan Johnson, and Pablo Hidalgo, if they go near Star Wars Celebration, they are arrested and thrown into jail, as well as anyone in Lucasfilm that harassed fans. And also arrest the people that threatened Jake Lloyd as well, or anyone in the prequels or George Lucas. Throw them into a freaking cage and leave them. Especially looking at you, Red Letter Media, and torture Red Letter Media with a freaking chain across his neck.
Whoa, that's a little too much.
Well,
yeah,
I'm using a Return of the Jedi reference right there. Get it? With Slave Leia.
I guess, gotcha.
Anyway.
But
I'll call it the next special edition. They're going to edit out Slave Leia.
I will cry. That was the one thing of fan service we had in Star Wars.
I wish that a special edition of Solo comes out and it features Jabba the Hutt basically doing that orgy that Doc Snovia wanted to see months.
Well, I'm dead serious. Sheep will see that shit, even if it's like a porno, basically.
I mean, it will be, if you ask me, that would be the most original idea Disney would do now.
Am I the only one that thinks Tales of Jabba's Palace sounds like a porno?
I will, if that becomes a thing, I'm gonna probably kill myself.
Well, the purpose of this podcast, since you've joined in late, is to give a voice for the little guy, because I don't feel like geeks and gamers and world-class bullshitters give the little guy a voice, really. It's only the big guys.
Yeah, and they don't talk about the bigger problem, not just like the drama or the political bullshit that's going on. We're talking about the real problems as well, is that there's no real consistency or real storytelling. They're only doing it for your big bucks. That's all what Disney cares about. They don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about the storytelling. They only care about the what is in our pockets.
Yeah, I strongly agree.
And honestly, I knew that this was going to happen from the first trailer of The Force Awakens. I knew it was going to happen. And actually, I could even predict it. Even I think I could even predict it as far back as even when they fucked over LucasArts and the EU, and even the Clone Wars series. I mean, I agree that they fucked it over, but they should have at least finished it off on Netflix. At least. But since they fucked it over completely, that's pretty fucking bullshit. But Strike 2 and 3 were definitely LucasArts going bye-bye. And let's see, the decanonation of the EU. That was one of the biggest indications that they do not care about Star Wars. They don't care about the storytelling. They don't care about consistency. They only care about money. They also care about basically they just don't even fucking care. I mean, if they really, and for me, if they really wanted to actually if they quote unquote wanted to revitalize Star Wars, which basically, since when was it a dead franchise? Star Wars was still kept alive even after Revenge of the Sith came out. People were still getting hyped about games. People were still reading the books. People were liking the Clone Wars series. How was Star Wars a dead franchise? It was not a dead franchise. And even if the prequels were controversial, which honestly, I think maybe George Lucas probably wanted his audience to expand their horizons besides just the movies. He wanted them to get invested with the universe itself, not just the movies.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I was just on a speech.
This is the reason why I think we need a podcast for the smaller guys, because geeks and gamers and world-class bullshitters don't bring this up. Honestly, of that it isn't just the toys that kept the franchise afloat. It was also the expanded universe,
the books, and the games.
Star Wars isn't doing well really in any front at all. The books are rotting on store shelves just like the toys are. Same thing with the comics. No one wants this bullshit.
I work at Fred Meyer, and my Star Wars toy section is just littered with the Last Jedi toys. I'm just laughing that no one has ever picked them up. Like, no one ever buys it, and I'm just, laughing.
With my experience, I've gone to several Target, to some other, I think Walmart too, and I've seen so many places, the section of toys, it just has so many Star Wars toys in there, especially The Last Jedi, and now Solo, I guess, when I go to Las Vegas to witness that shit in Target and Best Buy. It's gonna be hilarious to just take pictures of it, and maybe even send them here if you want to see how they rot in hell. Hilarious.
One that hasn't heard anything on my end.
It blinks in and out sometimes, but you're fine, dude. Just speak a little, I don't know. But you said your
the Star Wars toys don't,
sell at all.
No, they're not selling. Not even nothing.
But I wish world-class bullshitters would not just focus exclusively on the toys. The comics and the books don't sell either.
Because their EU is trash.
Yeah, it is. I read 2 comics of Disney Star Wars, Shield Wars. I'm gonna call it that because that's the thing.
It's called Soy Disney Whores now. It's called Disney Soy Whores.
Or Shield Wars.
Why not Disney Disney Soy Whores? Disney Soy Whores. I'll type it again. Disney Soy Whores.
So I read 2 comics. One was called Vader Down, and the other one was called Shattered Empires. Vader Down was just a big disappointment, and it just went all over the place. It started apparently Darth Vader all alone against an entire squadron of X-Wings because he was searching for Luke Skywalker. And then, he by himself taking down all the X-Wings. I don't mind that because Darth Vader is supposedly one of the best pilots in the galaxy. But then when he crashes Luke Skywalker's X-Wing head on, somehow both survive and they just crash they crashed literally in the front. And I was like, that's, I don't know. Even if you're a Force user, I don't think you survived that. But oh well. Then it was Darth Vader against the entire rebellion, and Vader was taking down the army by himself, I didn't mind much, until apparently he somehow deflected a tank blast with his lightsaber. I don't know how that's possible since it's not really mostly laser, but oh well. But then it just went like insane because they brought up apparently another servant of the Emperor, like with all it was some sort of General Grievous ripoff.
With Admiral Akbar's head.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. When I saw that, I was like, what the hell is this going to? How can the Emperor basically make his two men fight between each other instead of actually, capturing the rebellion or destroying it? Is that what the Emperor wants the most? Actually destroy the rebellion and fully conquer the entire galaxy? I didn't get that. It went so over the top. I was just, no, this is just very bad. Just pure fan fiction to seeing Darth Vader being a badass.
You know, Darth Vader was more badass when he wasn't utilized very much. Now in the new canon, he's featured in fucking everything. I mean, what happened to being discreet about it? And that's not the word, but I mean, he barely appeared in the novels and the comic. It's like, I don't understand why he needs to appear all the time.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, the comics I read from Darth Vader in the expanded universe, I did like them. Star Wars Purge, the Purge comics, Darth Vader and the Lost Command. Those were great. They definitely were they were a far cry better deal compared to the one of Vader Down. And I saw it, and then I saw all the other comics, and it's true. Like Darth Vader was not used too much. In fact, from all the novels I have like only one or two in which Anakin is with its Darth Vader costume. And then I saw and apparently they have an entire lineup of Darth Vader comics, Disney Star Wars, like Darth Vader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like, wow, so an entire comic series dedicated to Darth Vader. Okay.
Vader Down was a stupid idea. All it took was one look at the artwork and I wanted to gag. It was atrocious.
Yeah. What have you read, Dark Snovia, of Disney Star Wars?
Oh God, I've read the Thrawn book, which was overrated. Lords of the Sith, which was a guilty pleasure at best. I tried to read Lost Stars. I couldn't finish it. I tried to read Catalyst. I couldn't finish it. I tried to read Phasma, and I couldn't finish it. Yeah. You're seeing a pattern now. Their stories are so boring and bland that it just can't keep my interest.
Or they're just also basically just like, oh, let's get the copy and paste button and throw it in from Legends. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah. Also,
I've also read the first 5 issues of Darth Vader, of this mainline Star Wars comics, which is one of the worst comics I've ever read in my life.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I got a question. How many people does it take to ruin a franchise?
How many people?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3 people.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the Ghostbusters remake?
I did. You mean the reboot, 2016?
Yes.
I'm too much of a anime and manga addict to not watch it. So yeah.
Okay. Reboot. Okay. Let's just say I watched the first Ghostbusters first, or I think I saw it after. I remember. I liked it a lot more compared to the remake. The remake felt like some sort of flavor of the month type movie that was so fucking catering to SJWs and all sorts of female audiences. And I was just like, wow, you really made a big disservice to Ghostbusters.
At least they didn't make a Devil May Cry movie based off that abortion that is DMC.
Oh yeah, emo done.
Speaking of which, this is segue to the next segment. What the fuck is up with us entering a Star Wars skate-like situation? Am I having a sense of deja vu? Didn't we already go through this bullshit with gaming?
Wait, what
do you mean?
What? My brain spaced out. What were we talking about again?
Oh, okay. If you're wondering what I was talking about, you're familiar with Gamergate, right, Kyle?
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that.
That's what we're going through right now for Star Wars. The shill media is weaponizing the media against the fans. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, Jesus. If you ask me, the Star Wars fan base is never gonna just. Rebellion is a joke, a true fan mindset is.
Oh, look. We have someone that is a troll in here. Oh, wow.
Don't worry.
He's getting banned.
He's already gone.
No, he's still in here. Ban.
I already blocked him.
Want to fix and man what has been broken, what are you been doing? Lol.
Our rebellion's a joke, that's funny, considering the fact that Solo flopped and the merchandise is crashing and burning.
Lol.
Someone is butthurt.
Yeah, Levin Drive. Honestly, I mean, the guy, he could have said his opinion that he liked both canons, but he shouldn't just straight up insulted you and said Rebellion is a joke, mindset is cancerous. That was just straight up trolling.
I find it ironic he says, we're cancer, yet aren't you the kind of people that usually thumb down people's videos or stalk people online just for disagreeing with you?
Yeah, that's
the problem.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, okay. I mean, if, you know what, for me, like, when it comes to, like, you know what, I love the Star Wars prequels, and if you don't like the Star Wars prequels, I respect your opinion, but don't be an asshole about it, type of thing. Know what I mean?
Yes. I have no... The thing is, I used to be tolerant towards people that were embracing towards both canons, but every time I've ever encountered someone that was a fan of both canons, they've always been an asshole. I'm sorry. I've never encountered a nice person that's liked both canons.
Me, I honestly, I can't like this new canon at all because it's just
full
of bullshit. There's nothing good in it.
Yeah, that's the thing that I noticed in the fan base. Apparently, okay. Yes, the prequels definitely, they were kind of divided and whatever, but at least the fan base was still kind of strong. There were elements that at least could unite both prequel fan base and original trilogy fan base. They could still coexist somewhat, especially with the video games and the expanded universe and other stuff. But with the Disney Star Wars, there's nothing that can unite fan bases, like nothing. Their era literally just has all sorts of political agendas, all sorts of character destruction, and also just dumb bullshit that makes no sense whatsoever in the plot. And the universe does not add anything to the Star Wars universe whatsoever, anything in a meaningful way. So there's nothing that can basically unite all the fan bases when it comes to Disney Star Wars with the original trilogy and the prequels. There's nothing.
And let alone that this new canon is just basically catering mostly to the original trilogy era. There's barely any Clone Wars era books and comics and whatnot. It's mostly just the original trilogy era. It's obviously catering to those fuckers that hated the prequels.
Well, here's the thing, honestly. You can't have a united fan base when you use the media against them.
Honestly, you just piss off a lot of people. It pisses me off too.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to ask this because apparently I'm not too familiar with what's been going on with John Campea, that's Star Wars Shield. I didn't know of the Facebook, but way before that, I haven't known much. Can you give me a small summary of what he has done against the Star Wars fan base? Small one, basic.
Where can I begin? Just Campea, it's just a hypocrite. He acts like the victim every time people calls him out on his bullshit. He essentially he's an episode. Was John Campea on that podcast, Kyle, when we put up the billboard for the EU movement?
I don't remember. I think so, but I actually didn't even know who John Campea was until actually more recently. I was like, who is this guy? I never heard of this guy. That's why of how detached I am to the fandom now because I'm tired of this drama.
Shit.
So it's a
No.
good. So it's actually. So I think myself as like detaching myself to this bullshit was actually a good thing because therefore I didn't have to deal with it type of thing because yeah.
Anyway, continue, Dark Novia. What were you saying about John Campion?
Are you asking me or are you asking Kyle?
Yeah, I said Dark Novia. Continue with what you were saying about John Campion.
Swish, 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 swish.
There's no more, then okay, we can continue.
Goddamn. Hear me?
Lol, apparently Human War does not know how to use Discord, I think.
Fuck.
Click the general voice channel to join the chat. There you go.
The more the merrier.
If he turns out to be a troll, then I will immediately kick him.
I'm tempted to get a clip from the Eggman boss fight in Shadow the Hedgehog as the way to start up this podcast.
Hello?
If you want
Hello.
to, when I basically send you the file, you can do that.
A little bit.
Okay, cool.
Am I being heard?
Yes, you are being heard. Welcome to the rebellion.
Okay.
We have cookies.
I am very grateful. By the way, Dark Synovia, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I think the internet sucks. I don't know whose end it is for that.
It's kind
I
of
don't know.
It's more of on your end because it keeps cutting out on your end. My mic on my laptop just sucks ass because I'm using it instead of my really good one because it cuts out too much.
Well, I'm using it on my laptop, and I don't understand. It works sometimes.
Clear, or am I screwing up?
No, you're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
saying, Dark Synovia, I've been a fan of everything you fucking say. I really enjoy the fact that you do not pretty up what you're talking about this disgrace. I am absolutely gung ho. I'm like, you're the one person I relate to the most in terms of, I don't want to pretty it up what's going on.
It's okay, but I like to hear from your perspective because for me, I think the small guy like us need a voice because people like World Class Bullshitters and Geeks and Gamers don't give us a voice, and more smaller channels need a voice.
Yeah,
Sick of them.
It's
Ethan Van Skyberfrog.
I personally can't stand these people for the most part because they're pushing their political agenda, their right-wing bullshit. I don't care about that. Let's criticize the art, not who cares about the politics.
Just as much as Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, here's the thing about these people. I can't pronounce her last name. Stephanie. People like her and Geeks and Gamers are so delusional to think that replacing Kathleen Kennedy is going to do anything. What we should do is just let Star Wars just rot, at least the current version, and let it die because nothing's going to change. George Lucas would want us to create something new, create something better. Use our creative minds. That's what he would want us to do. Stop depending on Star Wars like it's some sort of drug we can't go without. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And
My issue is that, I don't care if they want to listen to us now. Like if Disney Star Wars all of a sudden they want to listen and respect the fans. I want you to apologize. I want you to admit that you rigged the fucking critics. That you rigged it all, and it was a cover up. Admit that you guys were frauds.
For me to come back, they first need to they first need to bring back LucasArts, recanonize the Legends.
Oh yes.
They need to of course get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, but also get rid of Pablo Hidalgo, get rid of Ryan Johnson, get rid of also who else? Who else should they get rid of?
Dave Filoni.
I think they should get rid of him too. Unfortunately,
Lil and Cheech as well, because Lil and Cheech part of the problem.
Who else? They should get rid of. They should also, for J.J. Abrams or anyone who has talked down to the fan base, they are not allowed to show up at any Star Wars celebration ever again. In fact, they're banned. If they are caught there, they will be arrested for harassment.
Penalty.
Lol. What about Jonathan Kasdan?
Like, anyone that actually, from the original 6 movies, that haven't said anything insulting to the fans and were actually friendly with the fans, like, for example, Mark Hamill, because one of his favorite pieces, from I recall, was the Ryan versus Dorkman content. And he actually loved the prequels, obviously. And, yeah, he definitely deserves to be at the Star Wars celebration. Not these fuckers.
I did not hear a single thing you just said, Kyle.
Phil! It's probably because of my
Dude, you are tuning in and out.
Probably because of my fucking voice, and I'm the recorder here, unfortunately. But
I have a suggestion. In regards to like forgiving Star Wars, I think that Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson should be made into CGI characters in Episode 9 as Jabba the Hutt and the little laughing the weasel thing. So Jabba the Hutt would be Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson. I forget what's his name again. That little weasel thing, laughing thing.
what about J.J. Abrams? J.J. Abrams also deserves to be something that deserves to die. Actually, he deserves to
a
be
character, like a really retarded, ridiculous, ugly character.
He's Greedo. He's Greedo because he got shot like a bitch.
That laughing thing that.
Okay, I'm gonna give my perspective and be realistic. What I would like: apologize to the fans.
That's another one for me too.
Continue Legends as an alternate timeline and as a and acknowledge it that it was always valid and it's Star Wars. It always has been Star Wars, and acknowledge it's always been canon. Fire every single person that's currently in charge of Star Wars. I know, Kyle, you would like them to recanonize the Expanded Universe. All of us Expanded Universe fans would like that, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah, we all would like that, but unfortunately that would never happen.
Ben Skywalker. That's what I want. I want their stories continued and concluded.
Maybe these, like, as an alternate universe.
I don't care what they do.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, the damage has been really done here. For me, the only thing now I'm holding on to Star Wars is just Legends and the classic Star Wars games. That's it. And, of course, the original 6 movies. Which, you know what? Me and my girlfriend have been watching through the original 6 again. And after finishing Episode 3, I felt something I have not felt in a long time while watching Star Wars. I actually felt emotional. I actually started to cry. That's how bad these new films are.
They're that bad. And you know what? Honestly, anybody who says that they like The Force Awakens, I really can't relate to you at all.
I hate The Force Awakens with a dying passion. It actually chokes my living being.
Lol.
I like it, but it was like a copy.
At first, I liked it, but over time, I came to a realization that it's basically Episode 4 2.0, and it has so many other problems, and it just takes liberties based on the Star Wars lore and continuity. And Rogue One was meh. The Last Jedi, straight up cancer. F that movie. Fuck that movie. I hate that movie to death. And Solo, God, that was the most boring Star Wars movie I've ever seen. Oh, God damn it.
No, honestly, I admire you guys if you still care about what they're doing, Disney Star Wars, but like as far as I'm concerned, after they killed Luke Skywalker like that, and even before that, even after when The Force Awakens, it was just like, I'm out, guys. I'm just out. You know, I've got enough Star Wars, just like Dark Sinovia has said many times. I got enough of it. There's no coming back from killing Luke Skywalker. There's no coming back from that.
And also, like, I respect anyone that jumped ship after The Force Awakens. For fuck's sake, my mic. I respect anyone that had jumped ship after the travesty that was The Force Awakens, like Capsulon's review, which is by far one of my favorite Force Awakens reviews.
One of my
You
favorite.
gotta fix your microphone. a shame that I'm not hearing every word you're saying because I want to hear it all.
Yeah,
It's the connection. Unfortunately, it's everybody. It's like, I mean, I'm literally staying very close to my laptop mic. It's probably just connection issues. And I turned off my Xbox One and my PlayStation 4. My Xbox One and my PlayStation 4. So, yeah.
I'm right next to my modem, literally, and it fucking is giving me shit.
Listen, let me just say one thing because I really want to express just this, and I'll be quiet for a little bit. But announced that they were going to make episode 7, 8, and 9. I was like, oh shit, like this is a disaster. And I'm like, okay, maybe they have a chance. Okay, maybe like there's a 1 in 1,000 chance they can get this right, but they didn't. And like it was a stupid idea to begin with.
The original 6 is sacred.
They're gone.
Like, Human War. I can't believe you actually think the same way I did when I saw the sequel trilogy. Like, for me, when I first heard about it, I was just like, oh my god, really? More movies? Just let the original 6 be. Let the original 6 be.
Half of you.
It's torture indeed. I can't. I still. You know what's funny is that I still have not seen Rogue One. I have still not seen The Last Jedi. I still haven't seen Rogue Solo, and I am not going to see him. After seeing The Force Awakens, I've seen the movie twice, and I will never see it again. In fact, when I walked out of the movie theater after The Force Awakens, I wanted to kill somebody next to me.
I have a confession. I saw The Force Awakens 5 or 6 times.
That's it.
It was torture. But
I got that great idea, everybody. Hey, let's make a Death Star that's twice as big, and let's have instead of having one droid with one map, let's have 2 droids with 2 maps. And then when we incarnate in 20 years, we'll have 3 droids with 3 maps, and we'll have a Death Star that's the size of a sun.
Oh, let's have a better idea. Oh, can I upload images or not possible, Arxnolia?
go ahead.
You get up,
Okay.
dude. This is an open freaking Discord to anyone
Okay,
who's really
I got
pissed.
this that you guys will love so badly.
You know what the next Star Wars spin-off is going to be? 2 droids, 1 cup.
Oh shit! That reminds me of. Remember that? Yeah.
Kill it with fire.
Where's the fire when you need it?
Okay, now the internet's working for me on my edge. Fuck.
Here, I'm gonna give her a funny reaction to how bad that picture is.
Fire.
Remember, people, the new Star Wars movies represent the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
I think right now, okay, first is denial, then is anger. I think right now I'm in like stage 4 or 5.
Solo, for me, represented acceptance.
Acceptance that Star Wars is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. It's not coming back. I mean, here's the thing I was trying to discuss before the internet went to shit on my end, but honestly, I don't care what they do for Lucasfilm at this point. To me, the damage is already done. They've ruined all the characters that I care about. They erased the characters that I cared about.
They milked it.
The only way I will ever come back considering giving a shit again if they give us Sword of the Jedi. Otherwise, fuck them.
Yeah, my
Sure,
money.
they killed it. They had something and they lost it. They lost it all. How are you that stupid? Is really the mind-boggling thing.
I mean,
my wallet is now a closed wallet. Disney, you're gonna have to earn.
Marvel has multiple timelines. Power Rangers, for fuck's sake, has multiple timelines. Legend of Zelda has 3 goddamn timelines. Every other franchise in history has multiple series running at once. Yet Star Wars can't have one other series. I mean, they can't even keep their own bullshit canon consistent.
Yeah, we can use one example as bad consistency. Look at The Force Awakens. Look at The Force Awakens and
No, what's this?
Look at The Force Awakens and Before the Awakening. My God, that book was so bad.
I forgot to. I blocked the Before the Awakening out of my mind.
That's how bad that
How
book
bad
is.
is it? Question: how bad is it?
I got a
Oh.
question. I got a question for you guys. Okay, why do you destroy the Sith and the Jedi and say, okay, there's not the Sith anymore, it's the Knights of Ren? And why is it not Darth Snoke? All of a sudden it's just Snoke? Sith, why are you throwing away these good ideas? Like, the Sith is Star Wars. So why all of a sudden are the Sith gone?
Because you have unimaginative people that don't want to have lightsabers or don't want to hire, martial artists that actually know how to use a sword.
Yeah, that is
Everything
true.
up to
What's funny is that I'm pretty sure, yeah, fuck's sake, mate. I'm pretty sure if Darth Revan, and Darth Revan were to come in a room where Rey is, Revan would just destroy Rey with one look.
Are you kidding me? Fuck Revan. Well, let's just put Kylo Ren is essentially a bootlegged Darth Kaitis.
Yes. Oh, speaking of
universe,
that,
but Kylo Ren is a little bitch boy. Like, he's not intimidating whatsoever.
A youngling from Attack of the Clones could defeat Kylo Ren.
I mean, he's a little crybaby. And you know what? The way he, worships Darth Vader's helmet, it reminds me of a perverted little kid sniffing some girl's underwear drawer. Or talking to, the way he's admiring Darth Vader. A real Sith leader would say, fuck Vader, I'm way more powerful than him. That's what a real Sith Lord would say.
I don't even know how.
But this guy's like, I hope that I'm as good as you one day, my grandfather.
You know
what's really sad is Kylo Ren's the most interesting character of all of them in the sequel trilogy.
Not interesting. Yeah, that's sad.
And this new trilogy, I mean, I don't even know how we could repair the damage when it comes to the storytelling with this shit.
ask me, guys, Kylo Ren to me, or Kyle Reno, I should say, at first he was a ripoff of 3 Sith Lords. He was a ripoff of Darth Vader, Darth Kaitis, and Darth Revan. Now it's more Darth Vader ripoff with The Last Jedi.
Except he's more like emo Anakin was in Episode 2.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Like a little pinup boy because he takes his shirt off.
At least the funny thing is that at least emo Anakin in Episode 2 is more likable than Kylo Ren.
Well, at least Anakin Skywalker in Episode 2 had a reason to be whiny. I mean, he's 19 years old. He's going through puberty. He meets some really hot chick. I don't care if I'm being inappropriate. That he had a crush on as a kid, and he sees her as an adult. Then his mother is dying. He's going through all this bullshit, and he's a Jedi.
And he dealt with also the loss of his mother. He dealt with also the Jedi Order expecting great things for him, and Obi-Wan kind of holding him back a little bit.
I mean, what's Kylo Ren's excuse?
Apparently,
he's a little grandson. He's a little angry little, Generation X little wimp. You know what? I'm sorry. I love the prequels. I liked them. I'm okay with people saying they had problems, but I had no problem with them. I really liked them, actually.
I love them. I love them. I love those movies so much. At
least it makes sense from beginning to end. At least they're one coherent story.
At least they're a part of the whole.
Mm-hmm. And at least they brought us several great things from Star Wars. They brought us the Clone Wars. They brought us Darth Maul. They brought us several great things that were just expanded and just made better in the Star Wars universe, especially for the video games and the books and comics. It was just much better.
I stated this in the first episode of the. No, for fuck's sake, internet! I stated this in the first episode of the podcast of the State of Star Wars that unlike with Disney Star Wars, we've had a huge boom in the prequel era. What does Disney Star Wars have? We've had 2 shit games. We've had
Oh yeah, fuck those games. Fuck you.
And a mobile game.
a greedy
Jesus.
mobile game, a shit expanded universe, and a bunch of bad movies.
God, fucking yay.
At least when George Lucas owned Star Wars, if you didn't like one era, you had other choices.
I think the Old Republic era is by far my favorite era in Star Wars.
The Old Republic. That definitely was a great era.
I think
Well,
I think it's the most interesting era compared to the other other 4 eras. I mean,
my favorite era is anything post Jedi.
Anything post
I love
Jedi.
the Thrawn trilogy.
Oh, that was great. Thrawn trilogy was awesome.
I
I don't know a lot of the extended universe, but I played Knights of the Old Republic, and that was just gold. It was just amazing.
Knights of the Old Republic is an amazing game. Both of them are.
I still hold that KOTOR's 1 and 2 are
The mic.
way better than
Lol.
the mic. For sake. I think I still hold that KOTOR's 1 and 2 are better than the movies themselves.
Yeah, KOTOR 1 definitely is one of the best games ever made. KOTOR 2 is also great. I wish it would have been released not rushed and with all the content, you know, with what the restoration mod had, but just in it already.
Just get it on on PC and you get access to the restored content mod. I mean, I love how KOTOR's 1 and 2 are now backwards compatible for the original Xbox, which is
Who the
amazing.
fuck wants to play KOTOR 2 though on a console? I can't even go back to the console version after playing on PC with the restored content.
My
Yes,
girlfriend
so
actually
true.
loves KOTOR's 1 and 2 on the freaking Xbox version because she has more fond memories. Me, it's for the PC version.
The KOTOR 1 on Xbox definitely worth it, but KOTOR 2, no, because that is basically the original vanilla version that came out that released years
Hey,
ago.
Please do not spoil KOTOR 2 restored content mod, or I will come after you.
I'm not gonna say anything story-wise, but okay.
Good boy. You get.
Am I the only one that thinks that it's not that fun being evil in KOTOR 1 because it's really stupid how the Jedi and the Republic still respect you and are still willing to let you walk in their enclaves despite the fact that you've murdered their own people.
And you basically look like a freaking Sith Lord.
The story writing is so good
Yeah.
that you kind of make it fit, I think.
I think KOTOR 2 being evil is more fun because your actions actually have more of an effect on the characters around you.
Kind of reminds me of the Mass Effect series.
Before 3.
Mass Effect 3. God, yeah. That was the beginning of their downfall.
I loved Mass Effect 3 at the beginning, like even the Citadel DLC, but the ending was just help.
The ending...
Andromeda had so much potential. The one thing I would defend EA's Star Wars games, at least DICE is still sticking with Battlefront 2, unlike what BioWare did with Mass Effect Andromeda, where they just after a month, they abandoned the fucking game. You know what I mean?
Actually, Kyle, a leak came out like 1 or 2 months. Apparently, it says in the leak, which is in Battlefront Reddit, by the way. Apparently, the leak says that DICE is going to basically do a few more content updates, and then they just leave the game. Because apparently, the game is not as profitable money-wise for EA, so they're basically saying they're going to leave the game, especially when Battlefield 5 already comes out.
Well,
so after and maybe one
they
more...
said at EA they were, but they completely overhauled the entire progression system, which is nice, at least. I mean, loot boxes are completely gone. They announced Conquest is coming in. They announced also a Clone Wars DLC, but I doubt we'll get anything further.
They should have announced that content at launch. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I know. And that's something that pisses me off about that game.
The Clone Wars era is awesome, but I'm not going to buy Battlefront 2. Fuck.
No,
don't do it. I made the mistake. I made the mistake of buying the game for my friends and buying the game twice on my PS4 and my Xbox One. And
you bought it twice on the PS4? Poor bastard.
Why?
Just to play with a friend of mine that likes it. So that's it. But
why buy it 4 times? Did you actually give him the copy? basically.
Yeah, because I'm too much of a nice guy, and I feel so bad. I could have just bought him on my Xbox One. I could have just bought them Halo: The Master Chief Collection instead, where we could actually play just Halo 1 through 3 again on there.
Or better yet, buy one copy of Battlefront 2 Original on Xbox Live and just
I
play
have
it.
that already. Have that on my console, and I love it to death.
Oh.
I love my digital copy of Battlefront 2 sitting on my Xbox One. You know what? I'm now tempted to turn my Xbox One on and just play it on my Xbox right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I own the shitty PS2 version of Battlefront 2.
I do too. It's the worst version, but if you ask me, I prefer more that version than any of the Battleship DA games.
I agree. I always play as Imperial Stormtroopers because it's fun.
I like my X-Wings.
I don't want.
There it is, Kyle.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Imagine Kylo Ren in Smash Brothers.
You know what? People have actually called me Kylo Ren one time. I was like, I'm gonna hit you.
Lol.
I instantly said, do you see this hand? I will hit you with it.
You know what irritates me more is when people mistake Revan as Kylo Ren.
I want to kill myself when that happens.
That's because Kylo Ren ripped off Darth Revan's look. That's why.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, fucking J.J. Abrams.
I wonder if he's gonna forget that Kylo Ren just in episode 8 and have it in episode 9 for some fucking reason. Knowing JJ, you'll probably will, since there's such a disconnect anyway. If there's a bunch of plot holes in the Last Jedi anyway, when I added 100 more, Luke Skywalker leaving a map, even though he wanted to die, makes no goddamn sense. But hey, what do I know?
General CG, I saw that video a long time ago. That was before E3. So I technically, after they completely overhauled the progression system, I think that video is a little irrelevant now because Yang Yi is kind of a freaking dickhead when it comes to content.
Did you check the date? It's actually a month old, this video. It's actually pretty...
Let me check it, because I actually clicked on it and I'm already halfway through the video. I was like, oh yeah, I've already seen this video. So...
The video came out 1 month ago, in May actually. And the overhaul came like 3 months ago actually, as far as I know.
Yeah, it
What
came
really
out
blows
in
my
May.
mind.
Then again, they announced it at E3, but I don't know. We'll see how the future
but
goes.
EA are pretty popular being just straight up liars. Before Battlefront 2 even came out, they were already lying about basically how to get all sorts of scrap parts in order to upgrade the star cards. They said that you could actually get scrap parts with the loot boxes, but in reality, you actually would just get credits. They're just straight up liars. You cannot trust them at all.
Yeah.
EA is fucked because there's a lot of countries in the European Union that want to ban loot boxes, and if they're successful, that's like a good chunk of their revenue. Believe it or not.
Well, the thing is, we should also blame Activision for starting that trend, which I think
fuck Activision and Overwatch.
Yeah.
Activision is honestly, I think Activision's a little worse than EA, but Ubisoft is pretty bad too when they release broken games like Unity.
You want to know something? We're going to get the first good Spider-Man game in probably almost 20 years because Activision no longer has the rights.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to buying that game on my PS4.
Oh god, if only we can get a good Ninja Turtles game. God damn it, fucking Activision.
God damn it.
Activision also has their evil clutches on Spyro and freaking Crash, and my girlfriend's hyping it, like saying, "Oh, they're gonna make good games." So like, at least the remasters were decent, But I know that they're gonna destroy it. It's Activision.
Okay, the reason why the Crash Bandicoot collection was good is because Sony is not gonna let fucking Activision screw up possibly one of their most popular games of all time.
I love how also it's coming to the Xbox One as well. It's not just going to be on. It's not just on PS4. It's coming to. Which is nice too. I like how it goes on different platforms because it gives more people a chance to play the Crash Bandicoot series.
I might buy it soon for my Xbox.
I own an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, and I love them both. like Xbox Live better than PSN though.
PSN
Pro
sucks.
video games. I can't really offer any intel on video games. Talk about Star Wars, but if you guys, continue by all means.
Well, maybe we should get back on topic with Star Wars. Is there anything else we should talk about?
We already talked about pretty much how we can get out of this situation, and honestly, we can't. We're doomed. Well, how we got in this situation is thanks to those god awful fucking Plinkett reviews. Which honestly, when people suck the dick of those reviews, I instantly want to slap this link to them saying, "Hey, check out this article called A Study in Fanboy Stupidity. Please read that."
Well, you can't blame it all on them, but they're a big contributing factor, actually, though.
They're kind of the biggest elephant in the room when it came to the downfall of Star Wars.
Well,
I don't know about finding a solution, but I do enjoy relating to comrades, about the woes of this whole fucking disaster. I'd like to ask you, are they saying that Last Jedi is like the second best Star Wars movie? How is that being? How are they saying that Kylo Ren is one of the best Sith Lords ever?
I'm gonna kill myself if someone ever tells me that to my face.
Sith Lord? He's not even a fucking Sith!
He's a wannabe piece of shit. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's the next Disney princess.
That would be great. Let's put a dress and put him in Kingdom Hearts.
Don't even give me that image. It's already bad enough that he exists.
Oh God, no!
And then the other princesses, though, he's not even masculine enough to be a princess.
You want to know something? To be off a little off topic, I want to share this picture for a sec.
Sure, why not?
You're gonna laugh at this, and I hope you guys agree with this.
I sent you a link. You should link to my goddamn YouTube because I've got very little followers, and I do quality videos, and I'm planning on doing a lot more and being quite active. So I need all the help I can get. Okay, I sent a link for you. To you.
Okay, that's
These
video is Kathleen Kennedy was spotted breastfeeding Ryan Johnson.
Well, okay. You said what's their solution? Out of this, how there is none. Well, honestly, I feel like that. I think more of us agree than we think. But to be honest, there isn't enough channels, small ones, with a voice because everyone listens to Geeks and Gamers and the World Class Bullshitters and that other. What's that guy? The comic book artist? I forgot his name.
Yeah. It's mostly. I think it should be also the little guy that says something. Like,
it's just
T-shirts so they can make money for themselves.
Like they won't actually listen to little guys who actually have a voice too about the situation.
It's like I see the reality of things. I mean, I've been fighting this fight since 2014, and nothing has changed. Honestly,
I've been fighting this fight for defending my love of Star Wars since basically before Disney took over, because I was always bullied for liking the prequels.
I commit suicide to the Star Wars part of my soul when they made The Last Jedi. I'm not even fighting
for
the
me,
fight
it was
anymore.
The Force Awakens.
well, one thing I will have to say is I have a younger brother who I introduced him to the expanded universe, and he was the first person to tell me that The Force Awakens sucked.
He has good taste.
Of course, he actually hates The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi more than I do, and he hasn't read even close to the amount of the EU that I have.
That guy, your brother, has good taste. He represents hope.
But like a friend of mine told me, the Darth Bane story is incredible, and I never read it. I want to.
Well, there are ways you can experience it. There's the audiobook version, which I don't know how you feel about audiobooks. It's unabridged, and Jonathan Davis, I think, does a great job to bring that trilogy to life. I highly recommend it.
Trilogy.
I listened to the audiobooks from I forgot what his name with the Throne trilogy.
Mark Thompson.
Yeah, Mark Thompson.
Nice.
But I really like how the Star Wars audiobooks, unlike most audiobooks that I've listened to, like the Halo series audiobooks, they actually make it actually feel like you're watching a Star Wars movie when you're listening to it. And they add sound effects, music, and, pretty damn good voice acting.
I'm currently listening to the 7th book of Legacy of the Force.
And-
It's abridged, but it's amazing.
You know what?
7.
Also, I want to say something. I think this book might be classified as one of the worst Legends books, but I don't care. I like it anyway.
Which one?
I like Death Troopers.
I can't comment on
the
Death
worst.
Troopers.
Like I liked it. I thought it was decent.
Hey,
I'm
Death
scared.
Troopers.
What's up?
Yeah, have you read the Callista trilogy or the Crystal Star or the Black Fleet Crisis?
I've heard the Crystal Star is the ever. Like nothing beats that shit except maybe The Last Jedi.
I haven't. Tried to read it, and so did my brother. None of us could finish it.
What is the Crystal Star?
Oh,
You're better off not knowing. Let's just tell you. Let's just say it's so bad that the book is only referenced once.
I just looked it up on Wikipedia and it just looks like a meh look. Doesn't look interesting.
there's the image.
Oh God. Okay, in my review of it, I actually played the Sephiroth theme because that's how much I hate the book.
I
that's
love
how-
that review. It was. Oh my god! By the way, I do miss your review.
The extended universe, Star Wars is fine. Disney just lost the fans. They were in a beggars can't be choosers situation, not the fans. They lost everything.
Yes.
We're just fine. We're just fine. And Dark Nova, you said that yourself, and I agree entirely. We're gonna go on forever without them. We can make our fan fiction. We can make fan videos. We can imagine what would have happened to Luke. We don't need. Who even wanted this? Who wanted episode 7, 8, and 9? What could it have been anyways?
Not me.
Apparently, several friends of mine. That's what I know.
I never wanted it.
Well, I have a confession. I wanted at some point before reading the EU because I was more of a visual person. But when I read the expanded universe, I realized, at least the Thrawn trilogy, there's no way they can make a sequel trilogy good. You can only continue the story properly through books and comics
Yeah.
because you're limited what you can do, honestly, on budget.
I told this to people before. I was like, why a movie? Why not a game or a book or a comic?
I wanted more video games actually, especially Star
Me
Wars.
too.
Battle-
I wanted another game. I wanted more Force Unleashed games. I wanted more KOTOR games.
Same. I wanted the third one.
You know what would be amazing if I know they I don't understand why they never did video games in terms of adaptation of some of the novels. Imagine a adaptation of the New Jedi Order series as a Battlefront-like game or Empire at War.
Oh, I
The
love Empire War.
closest we got to that, the closest we got to that was the final level of Rogue Squadron, the first one, in which it was basically the World Devastators assaulting.
Yeah, that game. I love Rogue Squadron. Is basically one of the stepping stones that got me into Star Wars. It wasn't the movies; it was the games.
Say.
You know what's actually I was confused is where does it take place through most of the game? Post Return of the Jedi or between Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope?
And then I looked
Okay,
it up and I
that's-
found out. Oh wow, this is after Return of the Jedi. This is when Luke becomes a Jedi. And it's way after Return of the Jedi.
Apparently, okay. As far as I know, it seems that the entirety of Rogue Squadron before the level with the World Devastators, it seems like it was between episodes 4 and 5 after the destruction of the first Death Star. As far as I know,
think-
the itself, World Devastators, it seems like it was after episode 6, basically when the Dark Empire trilogy was happening. As far as I know.
Well, imagine a Star Wars Dynasty Warriors.
A Star Wars Dynasty Warriors.
I would like an Ace Combat Star Wars game.
Would be interesting.
I'm sorry, but the Jedi is what and Sith are what interests me the most in Star Wars.
That-
Me too.
That's
I've
why-
never been a fan of Han Solo, to be honest. I don't give a shit about Han Solo.
I could write an essay why he's a flawed character in episodes 4, 5, and 6. I can write an essay of why he sucks in 4, 5, and 6, and he's overrated.
Oh, come on.
It's
I mean,
not bad.
I think, to me, I think Han Solo is far more interesting in the EU than he is in the movies.
Yes, he is. Indeed, I agree. But in the movies, he
I need
sucks.
to read that note.
Because in the Thrawn trilogy, I found him very intelligent and likable. In the Thrawn
Out of
trilogy,
my league when it comes to it.
in the Thrawn trilogy, I found him very likable and intelligent. So yeah.
I did notice that actually when I was reading the Tron trilogy. The Tron trilogy, I actually read it after I saw The Last Jedi because The Last Jedi was just so awful that it just left me such a bad taste in my mouth that I just wanted to just go and get a better Star Wars. So I got the Expanded Universe books, I got the Tron trilogy from Amazon, and I basically just started reading, and I got hooked. I was basically reading the best version of episodes 7, 8, and 9 that I could ever get. And the characters they actually felt like they were the characters that we saw in episode 6, just 5 years later, just much better, where Han Solo is actually a general, some recruiting smugglers to smuggle for the rebellion. Leia, that now is going to have her 2 children, Jason and Jaina Solo, and Luke Skywalker, now a Jedi Knight, fully make his father redeem to the light side, and now he's just basically, now he meets Mara Jade and everything, and he's going to get the Jedi Academy. That was so amazing. I honestly would have liked, I honestly want to see more, and I'm going to see more of the Jedi Academy trilogy book when I read it, but it's just, I find it so fucking disappointing and just awful that Disney has all of this material to work with, or at least do like their own spin or something, and they don't take it.
They threw it in the garbage.
Original trilogy stuff, like they don't go away from the original trilogy at all in any of the movies.
If you saw Tiber Sluss's video about basically the problem with Disney Star Wars, is how Disney just sucks the dick and tries to make people suck the dick of the originals or sucking the dick of their new shit.
No, I haven't seen that.
You know, like, I don't know that I'm a great Star Wars fan. I mean, I'm not going to speak for all Star Wars fans. I haven't read any of the Extended Universe. I haven't played all the games that you guys have played or read any of that shit. But raged by The Last Jedi. I was 6 years old when I saw The Return of the Jedi, and it blew my mind, and Luke Skywalker was my hero growing up. So I think I have every right in the world to be outraged, and I am outraged. I'm fucking furious. I'm not saying I'm a huge diehard fan. I'm not a diehard fan. I don't really give a...
Hey, to me, as long as you love the original 6 films made by George Lucas, that's enough, because the expanded universe isn't necessary in order to actually have a complete Star Wars story. If you want that to be how Star Wars ends for you, then that's fine.
Johnson, you're probably a Star Wars fan.
Yes, you're a fan. I'm sorry, I don't care if I sound like elitist. If you like The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, you don't understand Star Wars. Period. Star Wars is supposed to be about family. It's supposed to be about hope and redemption. It's in the hero's journey. If you cannot understand these basic things, you're not a Star Wars fan. It's like, don't fucking tell me that Jake Skywalker is fucking Luke.
Don't tell me to let the past die.
We're staring at you, El Grado. I wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire.
Oh yeah, let the past die. I find that funny because by trying to kill the past, you kill the future.
By the way,
Such a pseudo-intellectual thing to say. Like, if you look into like all the greatest philosophers in all of history, none of them said "let the past die."
by the way, speaking of the past time,
Sounds wise, but it's not wise at all.
No, it's like if you want to kill the past, then here's an idea. Don't fucking. Why did you buy Star Wars then? You're leashing off the past. If you're, and it's hypocritical.
Well, also, I mean, like Rian Johnson, right? Oh, you wanted to make your own film? Well, then why did you use John Williams music? Why did you use Star Wars music at the beginning? Why did you use the opening crawl?
Why did you even want? If you want to make your own film, why did you even want to make Star Wars anyway? Why did you even want to make Star Wars? Make your own movie.
I'm sorry, dude. You're making a Star Wars movie. I'm sorry. Wake up. Like, wake up. You know. It's there. It's a Star Wars movie. It's not a Rian Johnson movie. movie.
Making a Star Wars movie isn't even that fucking hard. They have fucking thousands of stories to freaking draw from if they need help.
I was saying to that dude, Mad Talk. He's a nice guy. I was saying, like, if somebody gave me Star Wars Episode 8 to write and direct, I would be like, wow, what an honor. I hope I don't screw this up. Maybe I should edit this screenplay a few times. Maybe I should be really careful.
Also, I want to point out another thing. You know what? Here's something that people are not criticizing, and like it's kind of a stupid argument, but you know what? Has anyone think that the names for a Star Wars story seem a little unfitting compared to like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? What sounds more epic? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic or Knights of the Old Republic, a Star Wars story? A Star Wars story. Like, I'm sorry, because even the original 3 episodes 4, 5, and 6, they were just called, Star Wars.
What's actually funny in China that Solo doesn't even have the name fucking Star Wars in the title.
It's Ranger Solo. Rangers.
Which it bombed in China, and I think China also blocked Star Wars.
Someone else just joined our podcast. Let's welcome him.
That is my girlfriend. That is my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hi, hon.
Well,
Star Wars story is just, it's lame. It's like a lame.
She's just here to listen.
It's always a tradition for me. Every time someone enters the podcast, I let them introduce themselves briefly because not everyone has seen the previous video. Okay.
I think my girlfriend saw episode 1 of our podcast, and I think she did comment on it saying I was being too hard on myself on my voice because I actually do not like my voice. I sound like a freaking squeaky 12-year-old.
Whatever.
I'm 23 years old, and I sound like a squeaky 12-year-old, and I can't stand it.
I'm not any happier than you.
Hey, all of us are like, I'm 30. I can't speak for the rest of you guys, but yeah, come on. It doesn't matter, honestly. When you do enough videos, you're not going to care how your voice sounds.
It doesn't. I don't really. I care about where your heart is. Just like the way Rian Johnson didn't care about where the heart of Star Wars was. He just cared about how everybody's voices sound, I guess.
Yeah,
how does he have a job considering he's cost Disney billions of dollars? I can't fucking get over that.
It's unbelievable. It's a phenomenon.
It's like, because of Rian Johnson, it's possible that the Fox buyout may not happen.
I thought they already bought Fox.
I'd like to know. I couldn't kill Star Wars if I tried.
No, Comcast is trying to outbid Disney, actually, because Disney's stock went down by 8% because of Solo.
Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson in The Last Jedi. It was funny, actually. I know you guys don't like Red Letter Media, but they made one good joke. They go, the Star Wars Episode 8, the last Rian Johnson movie.
You know what? They may be right.
Right. You think he's getting a trilogy? Do you fucking think? Is there anybody on the planet, including him, that thinks this trilogy is going to happen?
Okay.
Are you crazy?
Well, I know this sounds insane, but part of me wants it to happen just to see how badly it will flop.
It's a poor person's mind. I want to get into his mind. I want to see what happens when you give a moron complete free reign. You give him $100 million
even if
to
he
make a
made
trilogy.
these movies, I'm pretty sure he'd basically make something fucking bad of like, it just looked like the original trilogy era, not look like a brand new era.
You know what'd be funny?
It's amazing that Rian Johnson, he says that he wants to spend some time deciphering what was the magic of Star Wars so that he can recreate it in his trilogy. And it's like, dude, people have been trying to recreate the magic of Star Wars ever since Star Wars first came out. You think you're the first person to try to figure out the magic of Star Wars? You think you're going to do it, too. Holy, you got some balls on you, little man.
I don't even know if I call that beta male a man. I don't know. I just can't stand his face. I just want to punch him.
He looks like a demon.
I think that too.
He looks like a fucking demon from hell.
And as for those who are watching this, For all your information, most of us in this podcast are in our 20s to early 30s, so fuck off if you're going to call us a bunch of raging 40 into 50-year-old fanboys bitching about a terrible movie.
I'm 23. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 5. I'm 23. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 5. So, yeah.
I miss.
You missed
6 years
us.
old. When I was 6 years old, Luke Skywalker and Superman were my two heroes in life. And it turns out that the actors that played them have the same birthday as me. September 25th. Mark Hamill and Christopher Reeve.
Oh,
Be bigger to me for nostalgia purposes.
Interesting.
interesting.
Well, my heroes were Luke Skywalker and Spider-Man.
Mine
Nice.
mine pretty much were Goku and Luke Skywalker, and yeah,
Nice. Mine
Walker
were.
wants to murder his nephew.
and Spider-Man, of course. I think Spider-Man was on my list too. But now, as an adult, I think my main hero now is Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach.
Gotcha. Mine are still Mario and Obi-Wan. Mario from Mario Bros.
Mario, interesting choice.
Oh yeah.
It's called
Oh, don't
Cyber-
forget. For my video game heroes, it'd be Master Chief from the Halo series. Master Chief from Halo.
Nice. Yeah,
My favorite video game character is Dante, the real one, not fucking Dino.
okay. Yeah, the reason why I went with Mario is because I was first introduced to Mario when I was like 4 years old with my Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64. That came first before Star Wars in my life. So Mario's my number one favorite franchise of all time, followed by Star Wars and then Metroid.
Oh, Metroid's great. Just ignore another M.
Oh yes,
Played the original Metroid when I was like 10.
I played the one on the
played it a
Nintendo
million
DS
times
a
and I
long
won
time.
it.
I think the only Metroid game that I ever played was on the one on the Nintendo DS.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. Wait, that one sucked.
It's not too
I
off.
actually quite enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I also liked it too. Kind of fun 'cause it was kind of like Quake 3 Arena, but on DS. It was kind of cool.
Someone else join our podcast. Who the hell is that?
Quiet
Ed
about
Bio.
you. Please
Quiet
introduce
Bio.
yourself, my friend.
It's he might be playing a game while he's listening to our podcast.
Maybe.
He could not have a mic.
That's true. Well, if you can't hear us, hello.
Hey, he's also. People are free to join and just listen. I mean, they get to brag that, hey, I came in this part of the podcast and joined.
It's okay. You know, I actually like doing this. To be honest, it feels good to actually talk to smaller people because I just find it ridiculous that bigger YouTubers don't actually try to connect with smaller YouTubers. It's ridiculous.
They don't.
I
I
just
hate
think
that too.
the whole point of this is to connect. And when you're too arrogant, I'm not sure that they're too arrogant, but when you're not even trying to give a helping hand, what are you even here for?
One thing that really got me was, do we really give a fuck what Ben Shapiro thinks of what's going on with Star Wars? I don't.
I don't even know who the hell he is.
And also
Got a
another
haircut,
thing is
right?
that another thing to point out is that not just like we're not just here to just talk about the state that we all agree on. We're also here to make friends with each other because unlike YouTubers that just want to talk with each other for the money, we're here to make friends with each other and have good discussions with each other, right?
That is true. I've been asked this, in my personal life. Why don't you do it for money? Because to me, if I do it for money, then it's not genuine.
Like
You're no different than-
like if
than-
you guys want to add me on Xbox or PlayStation, just go right ahead and we'll play a game sometime.
But I would.
Because
I wouldn't.
I know who's a sell and who is. I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers I just unsubbed because when they got really big, they just sold out. I mean, remember Angry Joe?
Yeah.
I think we all watched his channel at one point.
Yeah, I never really was a big fan of him. To be honest with you.
His movie reviews are very mixed. I only see his game reviews actually. Those are still pretty good, but his movie reviews are just very mixed. Some are good, but some are just bad. I don't know what the hell he's
I think when he did the review for The Force Awakens, he said it's only good because it's not a prequel. I was like, seriously? Are you an idiot?
I was done with Nostalgia Critic when I found out that he did a video with Chris Stockman.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And now The Last Jedi.
I'm sorry, I cannot stand Chris Stockman. This guy, I don't know if it was Chris Stockman, but he did a video basically saying why the expanded universe wasn't Star Wars, pulling that same elitist bullshit that OT fanboys have been doing since 2014, and I was polite about it, and he fucking was acting bent out of shape over it.
Oh,
don't forget Star Wars Only, and then you had somebody tear him a new asshole on YouTube.
When after The Force Awakens came out, I was like, all right, I'm done. Like I was already done with Rey, and I was just like, okay, the only good thing about this movie was Han Solo and Luke at the end. I'll watch the next Star Wars movie just to see Luke. That's all I care about. It'll be a miracle.
I think even the Han Solo parts of the film were actually pretty shitty because they basically throw him back to being a smuggler.
Yes, exactly.
And they kill him like a bitch at the end. And Leia was reversed to nothing at the end of The Force Awakens. And now it's confirmed with The Last Jedi that Luke is a bitch, runs off to be a bitch. And I don't want to say that about my favorite character, but it's true apparently.
Hey, what we saw in The Last Jedi was Jake Skywalker, not Luke.
I didn't even give a shit. Like I already knew it was gonna suck, and it did suck. But when I heard about the outrage, I'm all for burning Rian Johnson at the stake. I'm all for burning.
I've stated
Disney.
this before, but anyone who actually hated
So
The Force
I'm on
Awakens,
the bandwagon. I've got a pitchfork and a torch, and I just want to join the mob, and I want to destroy.
let's not just burn Rian Johnson, but let's burn Disney World.
Can we really call this a boycott at this point regarding these new movies? I mean, every one of them suck.
I'm sorry. In order for it to be a boycott, I would have to care.
It's like I don't even care about Disney Star Wars. I mean, people like some smaller YouTubers like Stephanie, I forgot her last name. It's like these people are so naive to think that Disney is going to remove Kathleen Kennedy and they're not going to let Kathleen Kennedy choose a successor. Of course they're going to. This is Disney. Disney are out of their fucking
shit.
Disney cares only about what's in our wallet. That's it.
Well, I'm crossing my fingers that Marvel doesn't get affected by this, but unfortunately, that's eventually going to happen. But you know what? Avengers 4, depending on how it ends, I may be content with the MCU ending there. I don't know. I can't say.
For me, like I said, this is why I moved on from real-life movies and moved on to anime. Anime and manga for life.
Remember Luke the way I always remembered him. I can't see that Luke that I saw, Jake Skywalker. I can't see that as part of my Luke Skywalker.
Cool.
If they want to make it that way, good for them. But I'm not on. I couldn't be on board if I tried.
Well, if you really want to go by the laws of canon, nothing that's been being made since Disney's has taken over as canon. If you really want to go there.
Dark Zenobia, you were talking about that earlier. So you tell them again. I just want to laugh because it's so damn good.
About what?
Basically how bad their canon is.
Their canon's a fucking mess. I mean, they can't keep a character's age consistent. Rey meets Poe twice. They can't. Apparently, you have a wedding that happens in two different ways. In the new canon, I actually don't research this. I've heard about this from people who've read it. Of course, apparently, according to Pablo Hidalgo, none of the novelizations are canon. So, why the fuck are we reading them then if none of it counts?
So apparently, all the books that Disney Star Wars released are not canon to their own era.
I'm referring to the novelizations.
Of their movies.
Force
Yeah.
Awakens and The Last Jedi.
Don't get me started on that bullshit. There's no truth to the Star Wars universe.
Oh, I got that article. Fuck that article. Jesus.
Okay, the only reason that Lemon Cheese said that because you know what, the fucking system's broken. I don't give a shit anymore. Just give me my fucking paycheck.
Yeah.
Even if you let's pretend that you liked The Last Jedi, okay? What anticipation? What questions do you have that for episode 9 to even answer? Is there anything left?
No,
Like,
there
what
isn't.
hype-
No. The only thing is Rey versus Kylo Ren.
Tico and you want to see if Rose Tico and Finn get married?
Ah!
Is that your suspense for?
God damn it.
Well, guys, here's the video I was talking about. Here's a link. Watch later.
Doomcock's Law of
Okay, I've been looking into him lately.
Duke Cock is amazing. I love his comic.
Selling out though.
Oh, really?
So this guy does
Yeah,
a really
you know,
so this guy actually does a really good job of tearing a shit out of Disney's canon.
He's creating laws which I think are actually he's got good rules for what kind of canon should be.
I
Smart
agree.
fellow. But you know what? He's selling out. Like world class bullshitters wrote to him on that very link. Oh, I'm getting requests 7 times a week to have you on our show. Do you want to be on our show? And Doomcock writes back, yes, I'm emailing you right away. And then Doomcock wrote a thing about a eulogy to Edgar Allan Poe, and he's like, Edgar Allan Poe is one of the greatest writers of all time. And I'm like, why don't you care about the living artists? He's a fucking fanboy. He's like fan of. He's already selling out. He's already done. I mean, he's good though. He was good.
Who?
Things that he
Doomcock?
says. Yeah. He's not that good. But he's nice. He was nice at first. He was nice for a while.
Well, I'll wait and
Not
see.
clever.
Honestly,
Sorry.
I don't know. I can't comment. Honestly, I've seen the comment in this video.
He's. Oh man, he's not nearly as funny, and I don't know. And he's already selling T-shirts.
Well, one thing I've noticed from both world-class bullshitters, like ever since the Last Jedi situation, I'm not saying I'm not guilty of it, of milking it myself, but I don't ask for Patreon.
I would cash in if I could. You know, absolutely. I don't blame people for doing that. Make it that obvious. With T-shirts, fucking T-shirts.
Well, one thing I don't like. One thing world-class bullshitter does is associate with certain people, like I don't know how you guys feel about Jordan Peterson, but one of the people that the comic book artist did an illustration for his books, one of his books, and I don't like Jordan Peterson's fucking crazy. He's part of the intellectual dark web. Like, next we're gonna have fucking Ben Shapiro in the world-class bullshitters. Oh, fucking God, I don't want to fucking think about that. Oh, fuck, I should...
I'm from where I come from, right? I'm in
pretty much
Toronto.
ever since The Last Jedi, you had this barrage of YouTubers starting, like, this massive hate campaign, which that movie was shit, it was definitely bad. But the thing is, you have so many people trying to capitalize it and not try to criticize the real problems with the film, not just the political bullshit, not just the betrayal of Luke, but everything else,
Well,
how bad the film
I've been
was.
attacked personally by even some of the people that agree with me just because of my left-leaning views. It's like I have to emphasize that because a lot of people, are criticizing as the main reason why the movie is bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with these. I refuse to use the term social justice warrior because to me it's so stupid. These spineless liberals, are doing. I disagree with it. But the problem is that they're letting their personal bias, get, inserting get into Star Wars. Like, they make every single issue a political one. We can't fucking discuss art anymore. I think The Last Jedi was the last straw for me. That's why fuck the fandom of of Star Wars. There's barely any real fans left because most people are just fucking followers. They follow either.
I heard, like, fucking. First of all, there's nothing wrong with social justice. Social justice is a wonderful thing, and so is feminism. Two is that this is Star Wars. If you want to make a movie, make Philadelphia, right? If you want to make a movie about gay rights, make Philadelphia, or make make a movie about whatever, Ben. You want to make a movie about feminism, you make Aaron Brockovich or something. Nobody wanted to know whether Lando was pansexual or not. I don't care if Luke is gay or straight.
Well,
Everyone should ask. Nobody's against the idea of Luke being gay, but nobody cares.
Well, apparently, according to one of Disney canon novels, the reason why Lando isn't in the sequel trilogy because him and Han had a falling out post Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that fucking sucks tremendously.
You don't have good story writing abilities. You start to talk about people's sexualities. Who gives a fuck? Who cares about whether Luke is gay or straight or whether he had a relationship with Han? Nobody was asking that.
We just want to see. We just want to see the universe. We want to see lightsabers. We want to see spaceships. We want to see the Force. We want to see the Jedi. We want to see the Sith.
It's not called Star Sex.
Well, that's reasonable, but most of these people who are bitching about these new movies are not. It feels like it's more about the politics at this point than about the art, honestly. And all you're doing is just these people are doing is. Okay, don't want to get too deep into politics, but they're fueling the radical right-wing movements that are currently going on in the United States, and they're not helping by their irrational behavior every time something that's even slightly left-leaning, comes up. It's ridiculous. Let's focus on the arts.
I don't think it's a high art or anything. I mean, I think Bach or Mozart are high art. I mean, I don't think Star Wars is necessarily high art. It might be pretty high art.
That's true.
I want to see a Star Wars movie. I didn't pay admission to see a sexual commentary. Right? Don't advertise it as a Star Wars movie if you're gonna give me a social commentary.
You want to know something?
Because
though?
I didn't think I was paying for that.
I still hold to my heart that the best written romances in Star Wars was Revan and Bastila and Mara Jade and Luke.
I agree.
Like, I think that Anakin and Padme and Han and Leia's romance are kind of meh in the movies. That's a discussion I could discuss when I review the Attack of the Clones. Actually,
you're gonna review the movies?
What?
You're gonna review the movies?
I've reviewed all the movies, with the exception of the last two prequels.
You should watch them.
Okay. I'll definitely watch them later.
I have to watch a movie to review it, which of course that's an obvious thing.
But
I
would definitely want to do a video with sometime with you, Dark Zenobia, on like defending the prequels.
Well, okay, yeah, I agree. But here's back what I was saying. The problem with this current movement, with the boycott movement, is I feel like the anger it's coming to a point where it's not directed at how bad the art has become. It's directed based on the politics that they hate, and to me, that is not a good idea because it's not serving our movement at all. If anything, it's hurting it more because all it does. All it does is, I hate to say this, but this is something that people of higher power do all the time. They've done it throughout history. They divide people based on race, gender, etc., and they're buying into that trap. And as a result, Star Wars fans of all backgrounds can't really unite based on how bad the Star Wars has become, the art. We're basically divided on politics, even if you agree. There was a Facebook group I was a part of. I'm going to bring this up because I think it's time. Someone was comparing a Confederate statue being torn down to what's happening to Star Wars. I think which was disgusting to me, that they brought up a symbol of hate being torn down to a form of art being destroyed.
Yeah. Well, that's why you can't feed into it. That's why when people say, if you don't like new Star Wars, then you hate women, and then you're tempted to say, "Oh, fuck this women's shit, fuck Admiral gender studies," but because then we're becoming exactly what they're accusing of us of.
I feel like that's what's happening. All we're doing is proving them right, and I feel like us here are the only logical people here because we're not buying into this. This is why I'm going to fight this war with Disney my own way. I don't need to be part of a big movement because I've been fighting alone for years, and I might as well do it again. I primarily care about Legends at this point. I don't care if they fix their shitty version of Star Wars. To me, I don't care about fucking their universe. I care about the universe that they freaking discontinued.
And my angle is that I'm going to fight them any way I can. I will. If they decide to tie up Ryan Johnson and set him on fire, I'll be there and I'll bring a torch. Enjoy the overall destruction of the thing.
Can they do that to also? They should do that to J.J. Abrams too, and Kathleen Kennedy, and I'll be happy. Dude, burn them all at the stake. Burn them all at the stake, and I'll be gladly.
I'll piss on them too.
Actually, don't even bother pissing on them. Get the gasoline.
That's even better.
Well, you know what's funny is so it's probably watching this out of context, thinking we're a bunch of crazy freaking terrorists.
I am.
Probably quite by you.
Oh, I can be a psychopath if I want to.
Hey,
they don't call us fans for nothing. Fan is a short form for fanatic. Careful, don't piss us off.
Hey, okay. Sorry, I forgot what I was about to say. I had a brain fart just now.
LOL.
No, something about Star Wars and politics you were saying?
Well,
I
I think I'm done talking about that because I feel like politics sucks. Let's just focus on the more important issue: is trying to hold these people accountable for ruining one of the greatest sci-fi franchises of all time.
Sci-fi
They need to hold
fantasy.
them accountable. They're holding themselves accountable by destroying and making no money and losing jobs.
Yeah,
Ryan Johnson might never work again.
I find this funny, actually. You know what? At this point, the biggest enjoyment of Star Wars is the behind-the-scenes drama. And
Watching them burn themselves.
Yeah, honestly, that is the movies themselves.
It's
I mean,
just
Solo. I'm surprised that movie was even made. I really am.
It's very funny.
You know what? They would have been better off sticking to Lord and Miller's version than reshooting the whole fucking movie. It would have bombed anyway, but at least they would not have lose as much money.
Why'd you try to polish the turd?
I say they tried to clean the turd by
Release it in all its ugliness.
Oh wait, I forgot to mention this as a continuity error. The story group doesn't know who's the leader of that organization that I'm just gonna say that chick from Game of Thrones was a part of. Who was the leader? So Ron Howard just said fuck it and put Darth Maul in the movie for no goddamn reason.
And he lit his lightsaber.
Wait, that's the story group?
Lightsaber on hologram.
Yeah, the story group doesn't even know who the fucking leader of the organization is. But yeah, the group that's supposed to be in charge of fucking it's like these are the people that criticize the EU for being directionless. Yet the new cannon's like a fucking chicken with its head cut off.
Oh my
Actually, the new canon is just basically a bunch of random pieces scattered throughout with no freaking connections to them at all. It's like it's like a Lego set with no pieces, just one piece. That's it.
Put together.
No amount of glue will fix it.
Yeah.
Do you see the Solo movie?
Basically, the story group does not know the organization by which apparently Vision was working with, and apparently they also did not supervise the Last Jedi's narrative. What are their purpose again?
Wait, narrative? What narrative? Wait, Last Jedi has a plot?
I didn't see it.
Just political agenda garbage.
The Last Jedi is an awful movie. Be fortunate you never seen it and never will see it.
God, I want to see that shit ever again.
You know what? I'd rather watch Troll 2 and The Room than watch The Last Jedi.
Oh, I haven't even seen The Room. People are telling me to watch it just to laugh.
I honestly would rather watch the worst anime ever over The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens.
You want to watch the worst anime ever? Watch Gundam Seed Destiny.
Oh no!
Oh.
No, the original version, not the remaster, and not the movie version. The original. 50 episodes.
That's torture.
Gundam Seed Destiny was so bad that I almost stopped watching anime. 5 fucking recap episodes. Seriously? Wait, 5? No, wait. Gundam Seed Destiny.
That's actually one of One Piece's biggest problems is the recaps.
Actually, oh god, don't get me started on the anime of One Piece. God, that fucking anime is a fucking mess. I'd rather the manga's better.
I would rather watch Star Wars Star Wars the Holiday Special over The Last Jedi.
I never seen the holiday special.
Me either.
I saw most of it. It was weird, boring, and just made no sense whatsoever.
It's cheesy.
Luckily, it was never canon.
Like Happy Life Day.
Thank
Yeah, but that's the first appearance of everyone's favorite bounty hunter.
Boba Fett, yeah, that's true.
Like, I didn't care for Boba Fett ever in the first place.
Thank you.
Same.
I have a good.
Boba never had much character to him anyway.
Okay, you know what? You want to know why I don't like Boba Fett? I'll tell you why. I've read Legacy of the Force, and it really fucking pissed me off that Karen Travis. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard this in my reviews of Legacy.
Yeah,
of the Force.
I did.
Fucking had to insert Boba Fett as one of the lead characters in a storyline about Jason Solo falling to the dark side. Okay, I don't give a shit about Boba Fett's family problems. Every time there was a chapter revolving around the Mandalorians, I was like, oh god, I don't want to read this. It's just like the Daenerys chapters of the Song of Ice and Fire and Catelyn. Oh god, can I skip this, please?
You want to know a more interesting more interesting Mandalorian than freaking Boba Fett? Canderous Ordo.
I agree.
Yes.
Canderous was a badass. Though I will admit I do like Jango Fett, but then again, Jango Fett isn't featured very much, which is probably why.
I've never played the Bounty Hunter game yet, but I could just go buy it on my I just go buy it on my PS4, but I'm just too lazy to.
It's a hard son of a bitch.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I kicked that Jedi's ass at the end. What was her name? The girl chick with the two
Kamari
sabers.
Okay. The final boss of the game was easy, but there's a certain levels like Tatooine with. Oh my fucking god! I think I broke a few controllers when I was playing that game.
The biggest problem with that game is the sensitivity of Django's movement itself with the left stick, at least in the GameCube, which apparently is kind of sensitive that he just you can basically just swing around Django almost very fast, and it's a little bit too much sensitive for my liking. If that was kind of tweaked, then it would be probably a much better game.
Yeah.
Like I said with EA's games, at least I wanted a good first-person shooter for Star Wars, and that would turn out to be a disaster.
I haven't played Halo since 2.
What about 3?
I abandoned the Xbox platform.
I'm about ready to go buy you an Xbox One, and I'll buy you Halo the Master Chief Collection and say, let's play co-op.
I'm sorry, but I only accept an Xbox One if it's free.
Yeah, he's gonna buy it for you.
Hey, Master Chief Collection, I wouldn't mind that. It's probably the only thing I play in Halo 5.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to say, regarding the prequels, because my hero, I always worshipped the Emperor in the original trilogy.
Anakin?
I thought he was the coolest thing ever.
No, he's referring to Palpatine.
Favorite. He was my favorite. He was like the coolest thing. He was so fucking evil. So then when I find out that he's featured in the prequels, it was like my dream come true. So it was a personal, it was a reason why I love the prequels.
Oh, I got a suggestion. If you like Palpatine as a character, you should read the novel Dark Plagueis.
Oh, I need to read that shit.
He's one of the lead characters in that book.
I have still yet to go buy that book and read and listen to the audiobook.
Not too much is revealed about him, for obvious reasons. There's some stuff mysterious, but it gives you enough that he came from one of my least favorite Sith to my top 5 favorite Sith.
Interesting. I have Plagueis, but I'm waiting to read Cloak Deception first, and then Darth Maul Shadowhunter, because I want to go kind of in order to already understand the references that Darth Plagueis is going to do with the previous Episode 1 books, as well as maybe even Darkfang trilogy. So I have to read Cloak Deception first, and I'll get a song. Fuck! Jesus Christ, I want to get it.
Speak. For Darth Plagueis.
Wait, did you ask a question about Dark Plagueis, the novel?
No, I was basically saying, apparently, I want to read Cloak of Deception and Darth Maul Shadowhunter first before reading Darth Plagueis, because I want to get the references to those 2 books and some others before reading Darth Plagueis. That's what I actually said.
I love how basically we were talking about the problems with Disney Star Wars, and now we're just having a really good conversation. This is what I love about finding new friends in the Star Wars community.
Hey, this is the podcast for the small guys. The ones that truly matter, the ones that make people like me and you where we are. But without you guys, we'd be nothing. This is why I think I don't understand for the life of me why more YouTubers don't do this, especially when they have more subscribers than everyone else. It really baffles my mind.
I can understand it's hard. I can understand why there's so many subscribers, but come on, at least choose a few people every now and then.
It will probably be
enough money. You offer me enough money, I have to make a decision whether I'm going to sell it or not. And maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But they had that point and they made that decision.
Well, for me, here's how I stand with world-class bullshitters. The reason why, if they had a choice between someone like Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, I'm just using as an example, whatever the hell that guy, Skyver, whatever the guy that former artist, and Razor Fist, they're going to choose those people over us because those people would give them more revenue because those
rating.
Yes, that's why they don't associate themselves with us, which I find disappointing, but you know what?
If Brad Pitt wanted to show up on their show, they'd give him preference over us too.
Yeah, as long as they hate what the politics of what's currently going on in entertainment, that's fine. You know what? I think it's important that you have smaller voices because it makes it feel like we're part of the community.
Standards. I don't even think about smaller or bigger voices. It's about standards. And I thought about this. If I became a big time, YouTuber, and all of a sudden Geeks Gamers were to say to me, "Hey, you want to show up on our show?" I've been thinking lately. I'd probably say no.
I agree. To me, I'd be more I'd rather have smaller YouTubers over bigger ones because I think smaller YouTubers deserve a platform.
I want to know something? I'm not even my channel is not even in that category of reviewers and whatnot. My YouTube channel, I make music videos.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's good for everyone that we expose each other more because oh god, that sounded totally fucking wrong.
No.
That we give each other more exposure because I feel like we help each other out doing it this way. This is what YouTube was used to be about, but unfortunately, you know how YouTube turned out now. Are we still fucking recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. Yeah, I'm still recording.
I forgot that this was being recorded. Is this going to go on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to go on Dark Zenobia's channel, not mine. Not mine.
Cool.
And I did. And by the way, if you're gonna ask, I made that trailer that Dark Zenobia put up.
Oh, nice.
Trailer?
A good trailer, by the way.
I don't have the skills to do it, so that's why I had him do it.
Nice. It was a great trailer.
in the future, I think when we do another podcast, let's just fuck this stupid shit with Star Wars. Let's talk about random shit in the future.
Yeah,
Like
like,
maybe,
I stated this before. I'm changing the name of this Discord way later down the line because originally it was just going to be that, just to get people's attention. But now it's the point of this is to make friends. That's all this Discord is. Discord to talk about things we all like, and that's the point. And maybe and you know what? If we all own an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4, we should all play games together.
I agree. I wonder if the Darth harassers that with that Facebook page is going to thumb down this video like he always does. I know who they are. Pretty sure I'm on their shit list, like that Andre dude that they can't fucking seem to get over. I'm sorry. I just find it amusing at this point.
Indeed.
I have my own agenda, and my agenda is art.
Yes,
YouTube
that's
channel. My main thing is, and I came up with this statement: without good art, life. Good art, it's very complicated. Without good art, living. Without bad art, life would be worth living.
well. We need art, honestly, because art, we're all influenced by it, whether we're aware of it or not.
Art is one of the biggest things that drives humanity forward when it comes to our civilizations.
Continue to talk about.
It's everywhere.
Continue to talk against Star Wars because what they've done to Star Wars is exactly against art. Exactly, it's the death. It's capitalism. It's everything I hate in life. It's been one point.
Well, maybe we should not discuss that on this stream, just to be on the safe side.
I don't think I want to get it. I don't think I would want it. I don't think I want to have the government showing up my front door.
No, I'm just trying to keep the. I agree with you on that. It's just I probably would rather, because politics. When you get to that, we talk about capitalism. Not that I don't agree.
I can just talk about corruption.
I agree with that. It's just, yeah. But I agree. Art, I know this is cliche the way I'm saying this, but in order to control a population, it's not really that hard. You don't need a secret police, really. You don't need a big military. Art is the ultimate weapon against a population.
Interesting.
It all unites. Art is something that unites all of us.
And divine, too.
Indeed.
Yeah. Indeed.
What they do with Star Wars? Oh, they killed something. And you're right, that Doomcock thing about the laws of canon, where he talks about what they've done with Star Wars, how they're destroying history. Was that, I think, yeah. And it's very true.
Of course, it also applies to Star Trek, but that's not the topic of this podcast.
Technology it's a cornerstone of all societies. I mean, it creates cultures, and so when people say, "Oh, who cares? It's just Star Wars. It's just a movie," that is such
Star
an
Wars
ignorant
to
thing
me
to
is
say.
more is a universe, a vast universe to explore. And
Yeah,
It's just a movie.
yeah, but if you have that attitude, then what is a movie like American Sniper? Then that's obviously pro-war propaganda. Is that just a movie? Do we just sit idly by while movies like that continue to get made? Oh no, we shouldn't, because that is poisonous to our society.
It just reminds me, like, when I played tennis with somebody, like, if I played tennis with you and you sat down and just took a nap while we're in the middle of a game, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And you go, oh, it's just a tennis game. Okay, then play. Don't tell me it's just nothing, and go take a nap.
or hackers are
Be serious about everything you do.
Or playing again, or hackers on whenever you play online gaming. They ruin the fun for others.
Yeah, fucking hackers in online player. They suck.
One of the biggest reasons why I stopped playing Call of Duty. What Call of Duty?
Oh, with their peer-to-peer server garbage. Oh,
Call of
damn it.
Duty actually went downhill in Modern Warfare 2.
It went downhill after Black Ops 2. That was like the last Call of Duty in which basically it was the one that makes most of the fan base is happy, and it wasn't too bad. Let's just say the last good one that actually tried some sort of innovation before going to the shit that was Ghosts, and then going with the futuristic shit and becoming a super cash cow. Oh God, Call of Duty is just
Modern Warfare 2 for me was the downhill point.
Hey, I'm probably the only one here that has never played a single Call of Duty game. I think I'm fortunate.
If you ever try a Call of Duty game, I would just recommend playing 4 and 2 and World at War. That's it.
I would go if you were gonna play Call of Duty Dark Synovia. I recommend the first two Call of Duty. I recommend the Call of Duties made by Infinity Ward. Call of Duties 1, 2 on PC, and 4 Modern Warfare, because Infinity Ward were the ones. The original one, Infinity Ward, were the ones that actually created Call of Duty, and they definitely took the franchise several great directions.
What about World at War was also a really good Call of Duty game too.
I was going to get to Treyarch. Treyarch definitely are.
I have to split, but it's been a real pleasure. Okay, thanks so much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure, dude. Take it easy.
Okay.
Bye.
Later.
We're pretty much about to end this podcast because we might as well call this the end of episode 2 soon. End of episode 2 soon, but
episode 2. Yeah. So, what else do you want to talk, or you want to end it right now?
Well, we could have our closing thoughts actually, if you want to do that.
All I could say is, if you had anything you would want to say to George Lucas before he passes, what would you say?
I barely understood because the mic once again.
Oh my God. Okay, I said if you were to say anything to George Lucas, if you were to say anything to George Lucas before he passes, what would you say?
If I were to say before he passes,
George Lucas.
George Lucas. I would say before he passes. Okay, I think maybe I could say probably wasn't a good idea to give the IP to Disney. Something like that.
I think Odyssey he would probably agree. And for me, I would say thank you for giving me a thing that gave pretty much, got me through really hard times. I give him a big hug, and and I would say that I love his original 6.
I would also say that too. Of course, I would definitely say amazing Star Wars. I love that you created my franchise for all time. I definitely grew up on Star Wars a lot. I would definitely congratulate him. It took him a little bit, bad moves to sold Disney, but at the very least, I'm glad you created Star Wars. So, kudos to you, Lucas.
What about you, Dark Synovia? What would you say to Lucas before he passes?
I would tell him thank you for inspiring me and many other artists throughout the world that want to create something amazing of our own. Nothing that anyone does can replace what you do, and hopefully I'd like to follow in your footsteps in my own way. I'd like to create a universe that may be a classic like yours one day. That's what I would say to George. Thank you for inspiring me creatively.
And I would, I'd give him a big hug. I would seriously hug him. I don't care if his bodyguard started to rip me off. I would just hug him and say thank you so much, and probably start crying because that he's not going to live forever.
Of course, I also would tell him to don't worry about the bullshit, what's going on with Disney. Just enjoy life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, I think we're gonna end episode 2 here. We went on a tangent than I kind of like to, but it was a good podcast. I had a lot of fun.
I did too. May the force be with you guys, and may we live long and prosper.
Indeedy doody.